totally relying on me to get to work and all that kind of stuff. And backing off in that respect made it work better. He realized, kind of woke up and realized, literally woke up, but he woke up and realized, I got to get to work, or I'm going to have to go back to that job that I didn't enjoy. And fortunately, he figured that out in time. But it's not easy. Certainly, it wasn't easy for my wife to let us to back off and let him kind of learn that hard lesson. But I'd much rather he lose a good job than not learn the responsibility.
I would approach this, I mean, what's been said makes a lot of sense, but I think myself, I would first see if the parents can come to some agreement here. It sounds like there's some disagreement on A, what they're seeing as a problem, and then B, we don't really know if they both have the same goals in mind. And one of my mottos as a clinician, you can use this if you want, there's no copyright, is that, you know, once you have problems with a child or a problem area with a parent, it takes grade A parenting to really overcome it. Most of the time you can get by, I think, with grade B. We have some educators here, so I don't know if they like these terms, but B or B+. But when you have a problem, and part of that is being together on your teamwork. So if they can come together, they might work it out themselves. But there may be reasons why the father is still doing all of this and why his wife thinks he's doing too much, and you'd hopefully want them to be unified, if that's possible. So I would start there and then go from there, because if you come in saying you know, he should be more independent and back off, then the dad he may have some reasons and may not you know, be favorable to that. So that's where I would start.
I'm going to steal from collaborative problem solving, who really believes that kids do well if they can. So maybe there might be something else underlying there that's getting in their way and he can't do all those things by himself. So while it's good to step back sometimes, you have to really know your kid and really kind of know what's going on there, because for right now, maybe they need help learning how to get those skills, and then once they develop those skills, then you can start to step back and watch them kind of soar and grow on their own.
And I'm just going to piggyback on what Dr. Billingsley said. Really, the parents need to get together and take some time alone to themselves and have a conversation about it, as to why one of them feels that they're being harder than they need to be, or what are the issues in behind, and come to that place of what is our shared goal for our son, for our daughter, and how are we going to together get there. In our workshop, we talked about coming to a place of alliance between parents, and everyone in this room knows that if you're not on the same page, they're going to find a way to work that difference. So how to get there, you have to take the time and you have to have the conversation.
This was the topic of our lunch conversation, Carrie and I, actually, the concept, like the determining factor that we have witnessed as educators together, even though we've only taught together for 3 years, but the determining factor that we witness as on-the-ground teachers that work with your kids every day is the cohesiveness of the communication and the collaborative problem solving when a student has made some bad choices. So whether or not it's a blended family, a couple that is married, or whether it is two people who have had a change in their lifestyle and they are co-parenting from different homes, the determining factor is if indeed they come together for the child. And when that happens, we see that anything can be conquered, really. And it's not even a matter of a child sometimes finding wiggle room and how to get around things. It's that this kid realizes, you know, the adults are helping me. And when we see that, it makes a complete difference for a child. When we finish meetings at school, so I'm giving you the real transparent view here. The meeting's finished, everybody leaves, and the teachers stick around afterwards. And what do? They talk. And we go, oh, it's never going to work. We got to call them, we got to get them back in. Mr. Cowper's got to call those two parents, get them back in and say, come on, guys. Let's leave stuff aside. We got to focus on what's in the middle of the table. And the thing in the middle of the table is the kid. And when that happens, differences are made on a very high trajectory.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say too is that, you know, the comparison of children, and I've taught a lot of siblings, and, you know, one might be a female and then a male student, and so They are completely different, not just because everyone is individual, but because sometimes that gender aspect is that I have to see my boys sometimes differently in my classroom and their needs different than the girls, because a lot of the girls will do exactly what I ask them, and they will keep everything organized, they will put it away, and I have to give the boys an opportunity to develop that as well. And so I have to see them for what they have and what they need, and identify that. So I think even as parents, right, is just seeing that, you know, you may not be on your daughter as much, but she may just have naturally built some of those skills, and your son needs an opportunity to do that as well.
Next question is, how can I build an effective relationship with my son's teacher so it shows my child that an entire team of adults is on his side? Pretty sure you do that.
I think, you know, we've talked a little bit already about the importance of building a relationship. For me, I hope the first conversation we have isn't a parent-teacher interview. You know, we talked about this morning getting involved in the nights, like if there's a math night, parent council, a field trip, stopping in when you're picking up your child after school to have a quick conversation. I think that constant communication, and it goes both ways. You know, the parents contacting the teacher to let them know something's going on or something's going well, and then for the teacher to do it for the parents and to have that. And we talked about the report card this morning, and hopefully that's not the first time, you know, you're getting that large communication and knowing how your child's doing. But the more I can see your face or have a conversation even through messaging and things like that, then that helps us build that stronger relationship.
You know, teachers are human beings, and they judge. In fact, some people think that they get paid to judge, right? They A+. I've just judged your child. In math, they get an A+. So we at Kingsville Public School, I'm continually trying to help our teachers take a less judgmental stance and be more understanding and open to a two-way dialogue. So I'm going to take the side of the parent, because I am a parent. I'm going to take the side of the parent for a minute and know that when I walk into that meeting, I may have to model open, just keep my mind open and not judging and not coming with preconceived notions. I may have to model that for my child's teacher. And when I model that, it might sound like this. Mrs. Armstrong, how can we work together to help Gavin make better choices when he comes in the classroom in the morning? I'm showing Mrs. Armstrong that I want to work together. So it's the language that I use.